Hi, this is Charlie again. I am finally done with the front. I'll be honest with you, I had not anticipated how uneven this edge would be. So if you have not built this yet, this can create a problem, this kind of material, because it doesn't stay straight even though I put it on the trimmer and I trimmed it straight. Trying to put the paper on was a bit of a challenge because I'm off 1/8 of an inch up here and it's hard to see unless you actually measure it. So what it does is it creates that the whole page is off. So I had to go ahead and put this on because I was doing some cutting and I'll be honest, this is very humbling. I did not want you to watch me struggle trying to straighten this out because even though it doesn't show it now, it was crooked. And I had to glue back in a piece here to get it to even out. So I went ahead and put this down and I'm done. So I'm gonna move on now. So I've taken this element, it's part of the cutouts on that first main page, and I've taken one of the tags, but I've mounted it on the matching cardstock that I'm using, and I'm gonna put it here. I'm using a couple of the ephemera pieces, and I'm flanking the deer behind her, and then I've got the eagle up here. And then I've taken the word imagination, because it says the forest is filled with magic and secrets. It just takes a little bit of imagination. So I'm going to put that up here. And then in the ephemera was this interesting little piece, very delicate, very thin, and I thought I would treat it as a flower, and I will put it down here. And then I've got some various leaves that I have selected, and I will put that down here as a collage in the corner. Now I am inking the edges. This is such beautiful paper that it's thick, and I'm very pleased to see that Stamperia is using good quality paper, but it has a core, a white core to it. So I'm covering the edges to get rid of that white core look with Distress Ink Ground Espresso. So it's a dark brown, and you don't have to use that kind of ink. You can use any kind of ink, or don't use ink at all if the white edges, core edges, don't bother you. And I've got this propped up on a bunch of tape reels so that I'm working with it in a almost level fashion. So I'm going to put the eagle on first. Kind of this, the front of this is my interpretation of a magic forest. And there's not a whole lot to it. I think the majority of the mystery is the forest itself. And I'm just going to put that right up there. And then I'm going to put these down first before I put the rest of this down. Let me get this out of the way here. So I'm covering up the bottom of this. I want this to appear, or somewhat appear, that the castle's kind of in the background. So I don't know where I'm going to put this. Yeah, that leather material is quite the challenge. I also had to glue it down. I used 3-in-1 fabric tack, and I had to clamp that down, and I've had to actually let it rest for almost 2 hours so that that glue would dry and pull that material up against the cardstock. Now this little guy here has got such delicate little legs. I'm surprised they could cut him that thin. But they're using laser machines, I'm sure. So I'm just going to kind of pop him, not quite to the edge, but close enough. And then I'm going to layer her over his hind end, so it kind of looks like he's walking behind her or she's walking in front of him, however you want to say. And then I'm going to take this little collage of leaves. Let me kind of get an idea here real quick of what this is going to look like. I want this on the bottom. So is that how I want to do this? Okay. I don't know what this element is, but I'm just going to treat it as if it's a flower. And it's the only one that's in the ephemera pack. So I'm not sure what their intentions were, but this will be my intention. Just a little dab of glue will do ya. Just, I'm going to put it right there. Okay, so see, this is how it wraps, and until that glue dried, this was real squishy, but now it's nice and solid. And then I went ahead and I put the back on for the very same reason. This was not as straight as I thought it was. I'm narrow here, wider up here. So it took a little bit of this to try to get it done. So that is what I have. So there is the outside build. And again, if you're using this kind of material, even though you're going to cut it straight and you have the best intentions, it very well could be off. So just be patient with yourself. You may have to kind of angle your paper in order to get a straight line. The other thing I want to point out is I did back this with a dark chocolate. It's called bitter chocolate cardstock that I got from Cardstock Warehouse. And I like the layered look when I build the front of my albums so that there's a little bit of depth to the paper. And I might find something to put back here, but I'm not settled on that right yet. So there you have it, and I'm going to come back on the next video and we're going to start to work on the inside panel. I'll see you then.